হ্যাঁ, কনফিডেন্সিয়ালিটি যেটা এনিবডি ক্যান অ্যাক্সেস ইউর স্টাফ, এটা বেসিক্যালি যেটা করা হয়, যেটা আমরা করি আপনার এটার একটা টার্ম হলো যে এসএআর বলে আর কি। তো এই জিনিসটা হলো, মনে করেন আপনি লগ ইন করবেন সিস্টেমের মধ্যে, সিস্টেম মানে সফটওয়্যারের মধ্যে, এখন সেটা ডাটাবেস হোক, এটা একটা সফটওয়্যার হোক, যে হোয়াট এভার ইট ইজ, আপনি লগ ইন করার পর আপনার একটা রোল থাকে দ্যাট দিস ইজ হোয়াট ইউ নিড টু do or you should be able to do. That's the list of the things then you should be able to do. মনে করেন বিজনেস রোল ওয়াইজ, বিজনেস পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ, একটা অফিসের যদি চিন্তা করেন অফিসের কথা, এভরিবডি হ্যাজ সার্টেন থিংস টু ডু, রাইট? দে হ্যাভ এ সার্টেন অ্যাক্সেস, দে ক্যান ডু সার্টেন থিংস। তো ওই ওই জিনিসগুলা হোয়াট এভার আই সাপোজ টু ডু, আই শুড বি এবল টু ডু, আই মিন am I able to do those or not? Can I do those things? এটা হলো আপনার কনফিডেন্সিয়ালিটি টেস্টিং। আমি একটা জিনিস করতেছি, এখন আমি যেগুলা করতে পারবো ওগুলো আমি করতে পারতেছি, আরেকটা হলো আমার যেগুলা করতে পারার কথা না ওইগুলো আমি করতে পারি কিনা, ওই জিনিসটা দেখা কনফিডেন্সিয়ালিটি। এম আই স্টেপিং টু আদার পিপল ওয়ার্ক স্পেস, এটা হলো কনফিডেন্সিয়ালিটি। বেসিক্যালি as a business rule, whenever I log into the system, I am supposed to do certain things. I'm capable of doing certain things. Now, am I able to do those things or not? Now, that's the first thing, that I should be able to do all of the things that I can do. I have access. First, done. Second step, for the testing purposes, I also try to do things that I'm not allowed to do. Very simple. Let's say, whenever I log into the system,
আমি যদি আরেকজনের জিনিস যদি করতে পারি, that means someone else is able to access my stuff, right? This is how we,
yeah, of course, but basically you will not, if you can read something, first of all you need to know, I mean, if you are able to read somebody's stuff, that only not verify that confidentiality, because if that person give you access, then you can, right? Then you can. So you have to find out that do you have the access or not. If you have the access, then you can read, that's fine, but you have to find out first you are not able, you don't have the access, still you can read it. So that's confidentiality.
Okay, if I don't have the access and I still can do it, that means I'm able to, somebody else can access my stuff too, right?
Right. Let's say for example, we are making a software for bank, right? For, let's say, for bank, they have a different job role, right? Say teller, and then financial assistant, and then let's say manager, branch manager, and assistant manager, different role. Let's say for the teller, you are testing for the teller business role. So you log in as a teller. Now you are not supposed to, you are not allowed to change customers' personal information, like say address, phone number, social security number, something like that. You are not able to allow. You don't have the permission to change. Now let's see if you can change it or not. If you can change it, is a problem. If you cannot change it, then that is fine, right? So those are the things, like as a business rule you log in, and for that business rule you first make a list what you can do. So let's see if you can do it or not, and then make a list what you are not allowed to do, and then you try to do those things that you are not allowed to. Can you do that? If you can, then is a problem. That's confidentiality. Make sense?
Okay. Yes, I'm confused with this. How do I check if someone else can see my stuff? So this is how we can see.
Yeah, like you log in. আপনার যদি ইন্টারভিউতে জিজ্ঞেস করে, you log in. I log in as a business user for that particular role. I log in to the system as a business user for that particular role, and then I make a list what I can do. I make a list what I'm not supposed to do. So I check both things. If I can do whatever I'm supposed to, I'm fine. If I can do whatever I'm not supposed to, it's a problem. So this is how I test it.
Okay, and if a security testing with director fellow, we check how the software behaves in the presence of malicious attack. Even malicious attack, এটা কিভাবে টেস্ট করব? আমরা নিজে কোনো কিছু ঢুকাইতে দেই?
এই জিনিসটা আমরা করি না, হলো সিকিউরিটি চেক। এটা করে আপনার নেটওয়ার্ক যারা সিকিউরিটি টেস্টিং করে, they do it. It's a network breach. Okay. I just put it there so that you know the name, you know what it is. Not necessarily you have to do all the testing. Let's say there is a testing called benchmark testing, right?
Ji.
Benchmark. Now, benchmark testing, functional tester, manual tester, they don't do. Is a performance tester job. Benchmark testing. It's completely performance. You will never do that if you're not a performance tester. Okay, but sometimes they ask you in the interview what it is. If you work, the reason they ask you so that you know the name, because if you are at work, if you are a person that already working, then you should know what it is. Maybe you are not able to do that, but you should know what it is. That's why I put this name. So this testing is for security testing. We don't do that.
Okay, okay. আরেকটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল বাবা, ওই যে আপনার অ্যাপ্লিকেশন অফ দ্য সফটওয়্যার এগুলা যে বানানো হয় সবগুলা তো আর ওয়েব বেসড না, তাই না?
No, সবগুলো তো ওয়েব বেসড না, not web based everything.
Okay. So for the ডেস্কটপের মধ্যে যেগুলা থাকে এগুলা কি আমরা যে ইন্টিগ্রেশন টেস্টিং করি তখন we install it and see if it works with other like system software? So we basically install the software and then we see if it is working properly with the other system software and stuff like that. So we have to install the software, right?
Yes, we need to install it and check. But for the system, that's like at the end, whenever everything is done, then we install and find out if anything is crashing or not. Then we need to do that. Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we do install. For the web-based, we don't have to worry about the installation part, right?
No, it's just a link. You just open that, use that link,
Yeah.
you just open it up in the browser.
Okay, okay.
But just to let you know one thing, web-based application, but there could be a server-client application. That is a server-client.
Okay.
Server-client means one portion is installed in the server, in the Unix machine somewhere out there, not in your office probably, and another piece, two pieces, one is in the server, another computer, and one piece is installed in your computer, in your local machine, the desktop that you're using, two part. So if it's a server client, sometimes you need to install that client part in your machine also. Let's say for ALM, right? ALM is a server client. It's a web-based application, but server client-based. Web-based application can be also server client. Server client basically means that one part is installed in the server and you also install some part in your local machine. Okay, so in that case, if it's a server client based, then you install certain part in your computer also. But in web-based application, most of the time, generally, you don't install anything. You just open it using your browser.
Okay, okay. The compatibility testing এর মধ্যে যে আমরা যে টেস্ট করি if it is working with peripherals such as the printer, scanners, drives, এগুলা কি আমরা ক্লিক করে দেখে এটা প্রিন্ট করতেছি কিনা, স্ক্যানারে স্ক্যান হইতেছে কিনা, এরকম এটা করেটা কিভাবে টেস্টিংটা?
হ্যাঁ, এরকম দ্যাট ইজ ট্রু, এরকম এটা করা হয়। বাট আমরা যেটা কম্প্যাটিবিলিটি টেস্টিং আসলে আপনার পেরিফেরালস যেটা, সেটা হলো মানে বিভিন্ন সফটওয়্যার, বিভিন্ন হার্ডওয়্যার যেগুলো ইনস্টল করা থাকে কম্পিউটার সাথে, লাইক প্রিন্টার, স্ক্যানার, দোজ আর দ্য থিং. This is one thing, we install it and check if it's working or not. This is one thing, but another thing also, compatibility testing, like the software that you are making, like browser compatibility or OS compatibility, you need to make sure that works with any browser or the browser that you made it for. Okay, so you open this software in multiple browser or same browser but different version. Then you check if it's working or not.
How do you check the different platforms?
Different platform meaning different operating system, right? Different platform meaning different operating system. Now, whenever you need to do that, whenever you need to do this like a platform meaning operating system, there is a technology called virtual machine. There is a technology called virtual machine. Now, what is virtual machine? After you need just browse a little bit online. I'm going to tell you now, but just a little bit more. Hold on 1 second. It's called virtual machine. Virtual machine, okay. So virtual machine is basically, in one computer. Virtual machine is a software, okay? It's a software. Now, in one computer, you have a computer desktop, you're going to install this software. So once you install this software, in this software, you can install multiple operating system. Let's say right now you have Windows 10, let's say. You cannot install Windows 8. You cannot install XP. You cannot install Windows 2000. You cannot do that. You cannot install more than one or two, probably the most operating system in your machine. You cannot do that. Okay, the system will not allow you to do. But if you install this software, virtual machine, if you install it, then in this software, inside this software, you can install a lot of operating system at the same time. You can install Windows 8, 7, XP, Millennium, 2000, Unix, Ubuntu, like say 10 different operating system you can install. Okay, in one desktop machine, you after installing this, you can install a lot of operating system. So then you have a lot of operating system. So one time you're going to open, let's say Windows 10, you install the software. Is it working? Yeah, good. And then you're going to install Windows 7. Open up Windows 7, then you're going to install the software. Then XP, then Linux, then Unix, then Ubuntu. One after another, you're going to open it up and then install the software that you are testing, and then test it over there if it's working or not. This is how you do it. So virtual machine will allow you to install the software in multiple operating system and then test it there. Make sense?
already installed virtual machine.
No. It's not virtual machine. You have to install it. Virtual machine also called. There is another one for Oracle. If you type in Google Oracle VirtualBox, then you will see. Just read some few lines that will give you an idea what it is. VirtualBox. All it does is a software that allow you to install multiple software at the same time. That's all it does.
Okay. Okay, with the usability testing, as we test how easy it is to use, learn, and understand. Now, is it my opinion? If I think it's easy to use, then it is easy to use, easy to learn, understand. Is it my opinion as a tester?
Yes, your opinion as a tester. Yes, that's completely true. That's your opinion. Then it's like a proposal that this is what you think is right, this is what you think is not right. And then you're going to put it, log it, not as a defect, as a like a issue, and then it will be discussed. Let's say certain things that you are thinking is not right, but it's at the same time it is not possible to fix it. Maybe it is possible to fix it, but it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money. They don't want to fix it. So it is, it is based on your opinion. You're going to issue those, and then from there they will take it.
Oh. Okay. Soap testing, Mama, involves multiple users being logged in for a long period of time. How do I do that? How do I log in multiple users?
Okay. Multiple user, how do you do that? That's performance testing. There is a software called, there is a software called Load Runner JMeter. Those are used for those are used.
That's again performance. Okay.
Performance testing. Okay. So Load Runner, JMeter, there is some other also. Now in this software, what they do, you can, let's say you have an application, right? You have an application, let's say bank application. You are logging as a teller business tool. One person, right? You are logging. So in this software, when you log in, you're going to tell the computer, this software, you're going to tell it, okay, log in as a teller, but not one user, as a 50 user, 100 user, 20 user. This software will do it for you. Okay.
Oh.
So you can log in. When you say multiple user, then you log in, that's performance testing. And then you use this one of the software. And then in this software, they will tell you like how many user do you want. That's up to you. And what do you want me to do? It's not only login. Let's say I'm logging as a teller, and then what I do, people comes, I give them money. I'm exchanging, right? So I'm going to put as a job rule, I'm going to put people is going to come and give me money, whatever random amount of money, and I'm going to give them money back. Like they're going to give me the account number, how much money they want, and I'm going to give them back. Basically, that's all I do. So system is going to log in 50 user, 100 user, 20 users, and they're going to keep giving them money. So he's going to do whatever you tell them, he's going to do the whole night probably. Just keep doing it, and see how the software behaves. So this is how you do it. So whenever it's multiple user, you use one of the software. Now another thing is, if it's not multiple user, let's say single user. This is what I used to do. I did this testing as Comcast. As a single user, performance tester, they did that thing. Also we did as a single user. Before I went to home, what I did, I used to log in to the application, log in, like say 5 o'clock I'm leaving, I log in, and my computer was open whole night. And in the morning when I come, I used to check, am I still in the system? Like, did I log out or I'm still logging? Okay, so this is what you do. You log in and let the system run. Leave it open, let it go basically, and you go for lunch or go home and come back on the weekends. See what happens. So this is how we do it.
For the soak testing of that.
Yes, but the soak testing also a part of the performance testing. But sometimes, based on the environment, sometimes you don't have a performance testing. So certain things you need to do, like say single user, you can do it on your own, or two, three user, you can do it on a 2-3 user. You have a coworker. So let's open this software is a link, right? Web-based link. So send your coworker, tell them to log in. You log in, tell them to log in, 3-4 user done. But if it's like a 50, 60, 100 user, 1,000 users, right? Like if you are testing an ATM machine, 2-3 users is not enough. You have to work like 50,000 users, probably 20,000 users, right? So that time you need this software to do this testing.
Okay. Okay, Mama. We the most important functionalities about our question is how they will let us know, right, which ones are the most important functionalities.
No, they will not let us know, because you have to understand, as a tester, we have certain responsibility. We have to find out which is more important. Whenever we test, we are testing something, right? We are testing maybe 20 different things, let's say 20 test cases or 30, 50 test cases. Based on that, based on our knowledge, we will know which is more important. Now, more important means what? Like that covers a lot of things. Whenever you use an application, right? Whenever you are using an application, after using in certain times, that's your common sense basically. You will know which is important, which is not important. So
Okay.
nobody will tell you. You have to find out, but it's nothing hard. It's not that, oh, if I don't know, then what? Not a problem. There's a manager. You can talk to him that what do you think is most important? There is a BA. You can talk to BA that, okay, can you tell me what is more important functionality from business point of view? B will tell you. Product owner. If you ask the product owner which is more important, will tell you. And your manager is there, your coworker is there. So finding out what is important is not a big deal. It's very simple thing. First of all, whenever you're testing, you will have some knowledge. Based on that, you know which is important. Second thing, if you don't know, there is a lot of people, a lot of resource they will tell you, and they will be happy to tell you. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Mama. We just sanity testing them as a query after fixing bug on important functionalities. Now, আমরা যে ALM এ যে এমনিতেই যে বাগ পাই, এগুলো তো ফিক্স করা হয়, and then we retest and then pass it or fail it, whatever. So what is the difference? Because we retest any bug that is being fixed.
আমি সরি, আমি আপনার প্রশ্নটা বুঝি না, এটা আর বলেন। আপনার কথাটা খুব লাইট আসতেছে কেন জানো, ফর সাম রিজন।
আমি বলতেছি যে স্যানিটি টেস্টিং তো করি আমরা, স্মোক টেস্টিং করার পরে কোনো কিছু যদি wrong থাকে, if there is something wrong or defect, then we, after it gets fixed, we do a sanity testing. Now, LMA যা দেখলাম, এটা তো আমরা যে কোনো টেস্টিং করার পরে, when we find any bug, we retest it anyway. So what is the difference in here? কারণ আমরা তো সব বাগ কি রিটেস্ট করা হয় after it gets fixed.
বাগ যখন রিটেস্ট করেন তখন এটাকে স্যানিটি টেস্টিং বলে না। স্যানিটি টেস্টিং হলো আপনি এমনিতেই কয়েকটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট যেটা ইস্যু ছিল আগে টেস্ট করা। মনে করেন আগে 10টা ইস্যু ছিল, আপনি ফিক্স করছেন, তাই না? 10টা ইস্যু ছিল, 10টা ডিফেক্ট ছিল, টেস্ট করছেন। তারপরে ম্যানেজার যদি এসে বলে আপনাকে, ক্যান ইউ ডু সাম স্যানিটি টেস্টিং, বললো ক্যান ইউ ডু সাম স্মোক টেস্টিং, দেন হোয়াট ইউ ডু? দ্যাটস দ্য থিং। সো বাগ আপনি পাইছেন, বাগ আপনি ফিক্স করছে ডেভেলপার, now you testing it. That bug retesting basically, right? That's you doing. Now another thing, just before I forget, let me tell you, is not like you testing first smoke, then you doing sanity. It's not like that. There is no sequence. I mean, like say you have to first do smoke testing, then you have to do sanity testing. That's not the case. Okay, it's not that you have to do first smoke, then you have to do sanity. It's not that. You can do only smoke, you can do only sanity. Okay, so sanity testing is basically, if manager tell you, can you do some sanity testing? Yeah, of course. Now what? Then what do you do? That's your question, right? So in that case, you will see before what issue I had. Bug meaning, issue meaning bug. How many issue I had? Let's say I have 20 bug. So let me test all 20 again, or let me test 3 of them. Let me test 5 of them. Or I have 20 defect before. I'm not testing none of them. I'm just testing where I think the issue can come. That's sanity testing basically. Sanity testing, we had an issue in the past, right? We had an issue in the past. Now we are just double checking it. It's fixed, it's done. Now I'm just, before the presentation or something, I'm just double checking if those still exist or not. That's basically sanity testing. Any testing that is related to an existing issue, any testing that is related to an existing issue, that's called basically sanity testing. Sanity testing is like more like a problem related. Sanity testing is basically problem related. We had an issue in the past, or let's say there could be an issue that is does not exist, but maybe I think it could be an issue. So that's also sanity testing. So sanity testing is usually bug related, problem related. We had an issue in the past, is fixed, done deal. But now I'm just testing it, some of them again, that's sanity testing. Smoke testing is nothing to do with issue. It's completely independent, discrete, completely independent. It's not related to one another. Smoke testing is in general most important functionality you are testing. Why testing most important? Because you don't have time to test everything. There is a 100 test case. You don't have time to finish it in 2 days, 100 test cases. You can finish only probably 20 of them. So now from out of 100, you just pick top 20. Based on what? Based on importance, right? Priority. So that's called smoke testing. And sanity testing is, you have to, let's say 30 defect in the past, 30 issue. Defect is all fixed, done deal. You're doing some sanity testing. So you are just testing probably out of this 30, you are testing probably 10 of them, 5 of them, or 30 of them. That's sanity testing. Make sense?
Okay, let me see if I understood. So sanity testing is basically most important test cases. No. Sanity testing is the most important the bugs, among the bugs that was being fixed. The smoke testing is the most important test cases, right?
Functionality. Important test cases is functionality, right?
That's what I meant.
Right. Most important functionality testing.
It's just which ones were most important. We are just retesting if they are working properly. এটা হইতেছে আপনার smoke testing. আর sanity হইতেছে bug already found and being fixed. We are doing sanity testing on those bugs, which ones we think are most important in nature, maybe if they show up again, something like that.
Yes. It's like we had an issue in the past, it's fixed, I retested, it's closed, but we are just retesting those some of them, or probably all of them. That's sanity. Basically, problem related, defect related test cases to retest those are sanity testing.
Oh, the recovery system testing, Mama. Do we crash the system on purpose to see if it recovers again? The normally opens and stuff.
Yes, you shut down your computer, like a hardboard, the power. You shut down the computer, and then you see when you restart it, they see what happens.
Oh, okay. We just press the button and shut it down instead of like going to the power, then shut down, and one by one closing it. It's just randomly we just shut it down and see if everything is saved or not when we turn the power back on again.
Yes, but those testing is not done in like real machine. What happens is, remember the virtual machine that I mentioned to you here? Virtual machine. So the virtual machine you shut down. If you shut down a real computer, it could be an issue. Your computer could crash, and then you have to call, the technician, and everybody is a big problem. You have to wait. But what you do in that case, you just using the virtual machine and you shut down the virtual machine. Just close it down. And then, because you use a virtual machine operating system and use the software, you're testing it there. And then you close the virtual machine and restart the virtual machine again and see what happens. Not in the real one. Because if the real one happens, like I said, your computer itself could crash. Right? Yeah. So you do it in the virtual machine, those testing.
Okay. I just want to get clarification on that. That's all.
Yeah. No, এগুলা জিজ্ঞেস করলে is very important. যদি জিজ্ঞেস করে, it's very important though to understand the concept. It's like super important. If they tell you if you shut down your computer, that's not the right thing to do. The technician will be upset. Why did you shut down your computer? You screw it up. You have to call them. Your machine they will take your machine probably 2 days, 1 day, and then you have nothing to do. So that's why you don't do it in your real machine. You do it in a virtual machine. If virtual machine is something wrong, then what? You just delete it and install it again. Now it's not a big deal.
Yeah, like I'm memorizing the definitions. Then I'm like, okay, how do I do that?
No, the like understanding. Make sure you understand that. Don't memorize the whole definition. Memorize the keyword. It's very important. Memorizing the keyword, not the definition. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Load তো আপনি বলছেন এটা virtual thing. আমরা যে মামা লোড টেস্টিং করি এটার জন্য how many test cases is standard?
Load testing?
It's a performance load testing. এটা তো performance, but I could be a performance tester or no.
Actually, now of course you can, but for the performance tester, you need to know this tool. This is different. Like say in this tool or this is a performance tester, they use a tool. It's not that you're writing a query or things like that. It's completely different thing. You use a tool to do performance, because in performance testing, let's say you have to log in using 1,000 user. So how do you log in 1,000 computer? You don't have a 1,000 computer. The system will do it for you, right? So for the performance tester, you use one of these computer. I mean, one of the software. So to know this software, then you can become performance tester.
Okay, so I don't know these softwares. I don't really have to worry about it right now, right?
No, you don't, because it's different level. We don't do performance testing. They will not ask you a question or performance testing if they are not hiring you as a performance tester. And there is a performance tester, you will not go for that job, because that's not what we are doing.
Okay, then let's not waste my time, because I was getting confused with the users and stuff. Like,
yeah, no, it's good to know, because sometimes they ask you if you know or not to have a real experience, because they know you are not a performance tester, but theoretically you should have this knowledge, because your team the team you are working, they might have performance testers. So you need to know what they do, and they need to know what you do. Let's say this week I'm working as a performance tester. I'm not working, but I'm working with the performance testing team. because we need to do some performance testing. We need to do, right? Now we are not, I'm not doing it. They are doing it. So I need to give them information what they need to do. So I have a meeting this week with them. They will ask me question. Okay, what is this? What is that application wise? I have to tell them, and I need to tell them. Okay, make sure you do this part. This is important for us. That is important for us. Let's say what happened is we need to load files from another server, another computer. We need to transfer files. We just need to know how fast they can transfer the file. So how many files, what kind of files, they have different kinds of file and everything. So I need to explain to them, So that's why performance testers, what they do, you need to know, theoretically you need to understand. That's why you have to, if you're confused with any terminology, let me know. You need to understand those.
Okay.
Like they call V user, virtual user, like user that you're talking about, right? They call it V users. Okay, it's a virtual user. Because they are not real user. You're just creating using like say 1,000 user. It's not 1,000 physical people, human beings sitting there. No, you are creating this user using this software, and they are doing certain things for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, Mama, একটা হইতেছে আপনার end to end আপনার টেস্টিং এর মধ্যে একটা সিনারিও হইতেছে যে আমরা সফটওয়্যার ইনস্টল করলাম, তারপরে A to Z পর্যন্ত সফটওয়্যার কি করতেছে আর করতেছে না, বিজনেস ফ্লো যেটা বলে এটা ইয়ে কিনা ঠিক আছে কিনা আমরা দেখি, দ্যাটস ওয়ান। আরেকটা হইতেছে আপনার রিয়েল ওয়ার্ল্ড সিনারিওস where you connect everything with internet, like database and stuff. Now, how do you do connection with those things?
No, we don't do connection anything. You don't do anything. That somebody else does it. Network people, they do it. They just give you the connection. They will tell you it's connected. You don't do it. Okay. What happened is the end-to-end testing is, let's say there's a software that is being used multiple places, like say from Texas, from New York, from India, different places they will use at the same time, right? So what they do, they install this software in multiple places, right? And connect them through network, internet, and then you're going to test it. Let's say you have to do some work in New York. From Texas, you have to do something in New York. So what do you do? From Texas, you are connected through the network, right? Internet, and then you do your job. And then you connect it to India, do your job, see if it's working or not. So physically, you don't have to do any connection. That's not your part. There's network person does it. They will just establish the connection for you, and they will tell you it's connected. Software is installed, so now you can go ahead and test.
Okay.
No, I asked for somebody in that just to find out that it's
Oh, okay. আমি কোয়েশ্চেনগুলো লেখা রাখি, তো আমি কোয়েশ্চেন দেখে আপনাকে জিজ্ঞেস করতেছি। প্রোডাকশন সাইট যেখানে মধ্যে ইউএটি টেস্ট করা হয়, এটা কি উইথিন দ্য সফটওয়্যার কোম্পানি, না ইটস এট দ্য ক্লায়েন্টস প্লেস?
না, প্রোডাকশন সাইডে কিন্তু ইউএটি টেস্ট করা হয় না। প্রোডাকশন সাইট মানে প্রোডাকশন সাইডে কিন্তু ইউএটি টেস্ট করা হয় না। প্রোডাকশন সাইট বলতে আপনি কি বলছেন? প্রোডাকশন একটা এনভায়রনমেন্টের কথা বলতেছেন? প্রোডাকশন এনভায়রনমেন্ট কোনো টেস্টিং হয় না। আমাদের এনভায়রনমেন্ট কি আছে? প্রোডাকশন ইউএটির জন্য ইউএটি এনভায়রনমেন্ট আছে আলাদা। আমাদের আছে ড্যাপ এনভায়রনমেন্ট, তারপরে কিউ এনভায়রনমেন্ট, তারপরে আছে ইউএটি এনভায়রনমেন্ট, তারপর আছে প্রোডাকশন এনভায়রনমেন্ট। And besides that, we also have staging. It's called staging, sandbox. There's different things.
In the software, the company where we work for the UAT testing, the staging environment, is it there or is it at the client's place?
It could be anywhere. What happened is, this is like a computer. This is like a space in a computer. It's not a computer. It's a space in a computer, right? Server. Let me show you this. Let's see this computer. See this, how big this computer is, IBM, right? This is a server. This is a huge machine, right? See, this is a big machine, right? It's like our refrigerator, right? This is a big machine. Now, this is a unique server. Now, this computer is very powerful. Like let's say our desktop. Let's say our desktop is could be like 1,000 desktop is equal to this computer. 1,000, let's say. Okay, 1,000 desktop is equal to same. See, server. See, this individual server is low. Like there's how much? Probably 10, 12 server in there. So in this server, there is a space for dev. There is a space for QA. There is a space for production. There is a space for UAT. Okay. Now this space could be in like say client side or in software side. It does not matter, or it based on the environment. It's not a fixed rule. It's not a rule that it has to be on their side. It cannot be their side. It's not like nothing like that. Okay, let's say depend on the complete environment. You are developing something for your own company, then this will be in this company server, right? You are developing something for somebody else, but they don't have this computer. So they in the contract they say the UAT you have to give them, so it will be in your system. Now you are saying no, we will not give you that. You has to be in your computer in the contract. Then it will be in their computer, right? So it's not like specific that it has to be our or theirs. It's nothing like that. It's like an environment. It could be anywhere. Make sense?
Okay, জি আমি
Anywhere.
ওই যখন আলফা টেস্টিং আবার করতেছিলাম, আলফা টেস্টিং বলতে we do the testing at the production site, এই জন্য আমি কিছু কনফিউজ হয়ে গেছিলাম।
প্রোডাকশন সাইট প্রোডাকশন এনভায়রনমেন্ট না, কিন্তু জিনিসটা প্রোডাকশন সাইট মানে হলো মনে করেন ফ্যাক্টরিতে। আমি জিনিসটা মিন করলাম যে প্রোডাকশন মানে যেখানে বানাইতেছে সফটওয়্যারটা কোম্পানিতে। মনে করেন কোম্পানিতে আপনি বানাচ্ছেন, মনে করেন আপনার একটা কোম্পানি আছে যেখানে আপনি গার্মেন্টস কোম্পানি মনে করেন, রাইট? এখন আপনি ট্রায়াল দিচ্ছেন, যেটা আপনি শার্ট বানাচ্ছেন, শার্টটা আমি ট্রায়াল দিচ্ছি গার্মেন্টস যেখানে বানাচ্ছে ওইখানে। আর একটা হচ্ছে আমি ট্রায়াল দিচ্ছি শোরুমের মধ্যে। সেম শার্ট আমি ট্রায়াল দিচ্ছি দুই জায়গায়, একটা হলো গার্মেন্টস কোম্পানি যেখানে শার্টটা বানাইছে ওখানে, আর একটা হলো বাইরে ট্রায়াল রুমে দিচ্ছি মনে করেন শোরুমে, রাইট? সো প্রোডাকশন সাইট মানে হলো গার্মেন্টস এর ভিতরে আমি ট্রায়াল দিচ্ছি, মানে যেখানে আপনি সফটওয়্যারটা বানাচ্ছেন। মনে করেন আপনি কাজ করতেছেন ওরাকল কোম্পানিতে কাজ করেন, রাইট? সো আপনি আলফা টেস্টিং যখন করবেন তখন কিন্তু করবেন এই ওরাকল কোম্পানির এমপ্লয়ি দিয়া, রাইট? বাইরে কেউ না। ওই কোম্পানির ওরাকল কোম্পানির কারণে নিয়ে আসবেন। এটা হলো এই জন্য প্রোডাকশন সাইট, SIT সাইট, নট প্রোডাকশন এনভায়রনমেন্ট। প্রোডাকশন সাইট মিনিং যেখানে আপনি সফটওয়্যারটা বানাচ্ছেন ওই কোম্পানির ভিতরের কাউরে, বাইরের কাউরে না। দিস ইজ হোয়াট আই মিন।
ওকে ওকে, আমি মনে করছি মনে হয় প্রোডাকশন সাইট বোধহয় একটা ক্লায়েন্ট।
না, প্রোডাকশন সাইট বেসিক্যালি মিন আপনার অফিস, মনে করেন যেখানে আপনি কাজ করতেছেন যে অফিসে, ওই অফিসের কাউরে নিয়ে আসবেন। দ্যাটস প্রোডাকশন সাইট।
ওকে। আর ওই যে মামা ad hoc testing, we do it without planning or documentation. Does that mean that we don't have to write any test case or anything? We just do whatever we feel like. We do not have to document it, nothing.
না, ডকুমেন্ট করতে হবে once you break it, right? Ad hoc testing basically হলো randomly testing. You are trying to break down the system, right? You are just doing something. You are just typing something. You are just trying randomly doing some junk stuffs. So there is no documentation for that. But if you find something, then you document it. If you find, then you document it. Okay. If you find, then you document. Otherwise, you don't need to document. That's the whole thing.
Okay. If we just if we can break the system somewhere by pressing some button, then we write the test case, document it, and say what is the defect.
Right. If you find something, then you open a defect. Basically, there is no test case for it. There is no test case because আপনার জিনিসটা দেখেন, টেস্ট কেস কি জন্য আমরা কোত্থেকে লিখি? রিকোয়ারমেন্ট থেকে লিখি, রাইট? So in testing যেটা আপনি you find out something, what is there? Is there a requirement to break down the system? No. So how can you write requirement, right? How can you write test cases? You cannot. So that's why for ad hoc testing there is no test cases, but there could be defect. So whenever you find a defect, then you open the defect, right?
We just open a defect. That's it. We don't have to link it to anything, no, because there is no requirement, no test case.
There is nothing. There is nothing. So you just open a defect, and on the defect you make sure what you tested.
Okay. আর ওই যে মেইনটেনেন্স টেস্টিং এন্ড শেক আউট টেস্টিং ওইগুলোর জন্য কি আমরা টেস্ট কেস লিখি?
মেইনটেনেন্সের জন্য আসলে কোনো টেস্ট কেসের আসলে কিছু নাই এখানে। মেইনটেনেন্স বলতে it is support, production support. Maintenance meaning হলো production support. It's not doing some testing actually. What it is জিনিসটা খেয়াল করেন, প্রোডাকশন মানে you give them, মনে করেন একটা সফটওয়্যার বানাইছে আমি ডুইং এটার জন্য, you give them, they are using it, right? They are using it. So now if they find an issue, they call you, they're saying, oh, it's not working. Then you test it in your system. Is it working or not? If it's working, then you call them, what happened? Let me see why it's working, not working in your system, but it is working in my system, or vice versa, basically. So for maintenance is a support, right? You are just waiting, let them call you and then tell you there is a problem, and you just test it is really a problem or not, or something in their machine, something they are doing wrong probably. So for production support or maintenance, there is no test cases for it. Maintenance testing basically means you give your software to the client, they are using it, now they find some issue, so they call you and say, okay, this is what happened, I'm just using it but I cannot do this, it's giving me an error. So then you analyze it, what error they are giving you, and you are doing the same thing. You are going to ask them, oh, what did you do? They were telling you, I did this I did. And then you are going to do the same thing in your computer and see if you see the same thing or not. If you see the same thing, then you can, of course, open as a defect. So there is no test cases for it. No. I just want you to understand, the reason I'm telling you all this, to understand you, like the flow of it. Maintenance meaning they are using it, but they find something that is not working, but they could be, maybe they are doing something wrong. So you analyze it and then explain to them, okay, you are doing this wrong, don't do it like that. Or you are doing the same thing in your computer and you see, okay, that's an issue, then you raise it to the defect.
Okay, Mama. How about the shakeout testing? The product goes on
No,
live.
there is no testing test cases for it. For shakeout testing, shakeout testing is basically you do the whole thing, like end-to-end flow. You're just doing something, right? Once it is production, not you are doing it actually. Shakeout testing, you are not actually doing it. They are doing it, you are just observing it, if it's give you the right result or not, right?
And if the results are not good, then what do you do?
Then you open a defect.
See, Mama, I didn't know that you can just open a defect. So today I learned something.
Yeah, you can open a defect. I mean, whenever there is an issue, you can open a defect. Whenever you see an issue, doesn't matter if there is a test or no test. If there is an issue, you just open a defect.
Okay. Oh, in the interview, if they ask me if I have done white box testing, do I say yes or no?
Well, you can say yes. Yeah, white box testing is basically depends on the application also. You need to what white box testing is basically, you need to understand the programming language. Okay, so if it's a database, right, then you can say white box testing. Yes, okay, yeah, I do. But in general, you don't say no, I don't do white box testing.
Okay. Okay, Scrum to subset of Agile. Do we follow any other subset other than Scrum?
হ্যাঁ, আরেকটা আছে আপনার extreme programming, XP. Okay, it's also XP, extreme programming. Extreme programming. Scrum is the most famous, but this is also famous. Extreme programming.
Okay.
Under Agile, there's a lot of variety. It's a lot of variety.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of variety. So we do Scrum. Scrum is one, and another one is extreme programming. These are the two most famous. But let's say Scrum use like 70%, 75%. The rest is like this. Most famous is the Scrum. Yeah. So if they ask you like what Scrum you are using, then you can say I use Scrum. I mean, what Agile you are using, follow. Then you can say mostly I use Scrum, but I also work in a project that is using extreme programming. Extreme, this is like similar thing. The
Okay.
difference is basically they have much less document. At work, so many documents you have to create that it takes a lot of so many documents, so many meetings. It's like a whole lot of mess. Okay. Now this extreme programming is basically less documentation, like doing the actual work basically. That's all.
Okay.
If they
Okay.
ask you the difference, the difference is basically there's less meeting and less documentation wise. There's a lot of extra documents that we have to create at the end of the sprint. We have to submit probably 5-6 different kinds of documents like test result, test cases, bug release, bug defect, bug status. And all these things, test plan. And here they just probably wants like the status of the test result basically, and bug status. That's all basically. So that's less, more work, less documentation.
Okay. আমি দুইটা জায়গাতে টিম মেম্বার্স আছে, একটা হইতেছে স্ক্রাম টিম মেম্বার্স উইথ আন্ডার রোলস 3 রোলস, স্ক্রাম মাস্টার, বিজনেস অ্যানালিস্ট আর টিম মেম্বার, আরেকটাতে আছে এনভায়রনমেন্ট এন্ড টিম মেম্বার্স. what is the difference between these two team members? All this time I thought they are the same.
No, they're the same, no difference. Team member basically like in a team. What I mean by this is there's no difference. First of all, like I just want to know what are the different types of people who work in a software. What are the different types of people? That's the first thing. What are the different types of people? Let's say we have DBA, we have product owner, we have business analyst, data modeler, data architect, tester, developer, test lead, developer lead, manager, right? Test manager, then data manager, data steward. There's a lot of title that people works, right? Like probably 15 20 types. So that's one thing is like I want you to know all these different types of people who does what. Let's say DBA.
But they are all team members, right?
They're the team members, right? Now that's like in team member meaning, let's say in a restaurant, if you go in a restaurant, what are the people that works in a restaurant, right? Let's say chef works there, manager works there, cleaning, busboy, food runner, a lot of people. Now that's one thing. So that's the team members, like whoever is working in the team. Now another thing is the scrum, like for the agile, who are the people that you encounter with in agile? Who are the people? In agile specifically, who are the people? Let's say in agile sometimes there is no DBA in agile. Usually there is no DBA. It could be DBA, but maybe no. So in agile, who works in agile? Can you tell me who works in agile?
Developers, testers, QA lead developers.
Developer, tester, and who? Oh, hold on, let me write it down. Developer, tester.
একটা আছে না QA lead.
QA lead, okay.
Developer lead আছে না একটা software architect. What's the difference between architect and the developer? They're the same, right?
No, they're not the same. I'll tell you. So tell me first, in agile, the scrum, who are the members? Who are the members?
Oh, okay. In Scrum, okay. What I saw in Scrum is the team members are BA, subject matter expert.
Okay, let me write it down. Okay, let me go through. It's very important for you to understand. So in the Scrum, you have BA, and who else?
We have tester, developer.
Tester, developer.
And sometimes we can have subject matter expert.
SME, okay.
That's all I saw in the team.
Okay, so you have BA, tester, developer, and SME, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in agile, the most important person is Scrum, right? Scrum master, remember?
Yeah, I thought he has. Well, there is the thing that I'm talking from. Agile has 3 roles. One is product owner. The second one is Scrum master, and the team. Under team, Scrum master was not there, and that's why I asked you this question.
Yes.
The why,
In the team, okay. So one, we have product owner, right? It's called PO. So in the interview, don't mention the whole name, product owner. Mention PO. The reason I'm saying this is the more like this like a word that in the office they uses PO. Okay. So you have to make them believe that you work, right? You have to make them believe that you work. So how can you have to use all your resource, all your intelligence to make them believe that you're working. So you are using the keyword is most important things. Like talking,
Okay.
like talking. See, sometimes you'll see like a very bad looking person has a very beautiful girlfriend or wife, right? Or it's cool. No, it's true, right? You'll see how that is
Trump.
possible.
Trump is an
Because sweet
example,
talker,
Noah.
because they convince, right? This person probably talk very nice or rich, right? Something. No, it happens. I have a cousin. He doesn't look good. He has 19 girlfriend. When he was in college, he has 19 girlfriend. He doesn't look good, but he was a very sweet talker. Okay, he was a very 19 girlfriend and very sweet talker. So this is what happens. So I have to convince him to buy me basically, right? I'm selling myself. Now there is probably three other people like me. He is going to buy one of us. So I'm just telling him to buy me, right? So I have to convince him,
Yeah.
right? So that's the whole purpose. So using this proper word will make them believe that I really work. Okay. So that's
Okay.
why it's very important, super important to know this keyword. Very important. Product owner, nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. But PO is the better way to say. Okay. PO is the product owner. Okay.
Yeah.
PO is the product owner, and then PM is the project manager. Okay. And
So we say PO, PM, 8 o'clock?
yeah. Yes, you said that. Business analyst. Okay. These are the things you need to mention. Don't mention business analyst. Okay. Don't mention like project manager. Just mention PM. Okay. Those are the things we need to do. Now, so here we have first we have is product owner, right? I was going to talk to
Yeah.
you about this also today. I mean, if we have time, but since you bring this question, it's very important. So we have product owner, and then we have Scrum Master, right?
Yeah.
So we have Scrum Master. See, product owner, Scrum Master. Then we have BA. So product owner is under which supervision the product will be built, right? Basically, he's the owner of it, right? And then Scrum Master, what Scrum Master does, his job is basically to log all the information, right? Whoever is doing
Yeah.
what, if there anybody has any problem, he's going to fix it, right? If anybody has
Yeah.
any problem, he is going to fix it. Let's say I'm saying, oh, my database is down, or I need a software to install. Can you install that? He's going to, facilitate that basically. So Scrum Master actually does not do anything. I mean, working wise. Let's say what I'm saying, let's say you have a building, you want to make a building, a 3 stories building, right? Now, who is building it? The contractor, whoever is really doing the actual work, they are building it. Now, the project manager, he is not actually doing anything. He's just hiring everybody who will do it, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you have to understand these two different things. One is the management wise, who is facilitating it, who is organizing everything, who is like under whom we are doing it basically. So one thing is management. Another thing is key delivery people, who is actually doing the work, actual work. Okay, and then we have SME. They don't really do work. They will help you to expertise things, right? Now there is another called delivery team. Okay, delivery team is developer.
What is that team called?
Huh?
POS, MBA, and SME. That team, those are 4 people, POS, MBA, and SME, they're under also team, right?
They're under team. They're under team. They're also team like product owner, Scrum Master, business analyst, SME. Their team. Now delivery team is developer, data modeler, tester. That's basically the delivery team, because he's going to develop, right? Actual coding. He's going to do actual coding, right? He's going to design the database for you whenever there is some changes to it, and then you're going to test it, dumb it. That's
Do
all.
we have an abbreviation for these 3 people?
Huh?
Developer. Do we have an abbreviation for developer, data modeler, and tester? Or we just call it? We just call them the way it is.
Or we
Developer,
can call
data.
developer. There's DAP, or developer or modeler. I mean, data modeler, we
Tester
can
is
call data modeler. That's fine. There is no short developer, data modeler, and tester. Okay.
Okay.
So that's called delivery team. Delivery team who's doing actually work, right? We are actually doing the work. Developer is coding, he is doing the data modeling, and then we are doing the testing. Now, data modeling, if you realize, if it's a one-time thing, if it's a one-time, he designed the database is done. Okay, before the even the project start, he designed the database is done. Then we even don't need the data modeler in the team. Okay, data modeler or DVA, data modeler or DVA probably we don't need. It could be one-time thing. If it's a one-time thing, like set up the environment, then it's done. You don't need it. So only developer and test team. Okay, but in a in a database application, if it's a database application, then we need these two, because there is a constantly changes happen. Always there is a new table you have to make, you have to delete some table, you have to create this, that. So then you need data modeler. Okay, so that's a delivery team. Okay, that's very important to understand, because developer is writing the code, we are testing it, data modeler is designing the database, creating the database, basically that we need. Okay, and these people are like management. They are like they are like basically hire these people to do the job. Okay, these people basically hire to do this job, like product manager, basically product manager, product owner, and also I mean project manager, I missed that. Project manager, product owner, right? And then scrum master, BA, and SME. Okay, they are like, says SME. What he does, he doesn't do anything, he will just explain to you. If you have a question, a specialized question, he's going to do, ask you, tell you what it is, right? That's all he's going to do. He's going to give you an idea, he's going to give you suggestion, he's going to explain to you that you do not understand, right? That's all that he's going to do, right? And then BA, same thing. They create documents, they will answer your question, they will explain to you, that's all. But at the end of the day, developer is the one who need to write the code, and you need to test it, basically, right? You need to test it, that's all. So they are here to facilitate things, right? To observe, to facilitate, to supervision, that's all. But at the end of the day, these people does it. That's why it's called delivery team. Okay. Remember, I was telling you that in Agile, nobody will force you to do things. You have to pick up your task and you have to commit, and then you have to finish it, right? So let's say the Scrum Master will ask you how long it's going to take to develop it. He's going to say, let's say he's going to say 3 weeks. He's going to say 3 weeks, okay? And then he's going to tell me how long it's going to take. I said, okay, it's going to take 3 weeks for me to test, okay? So they are the one, we are the one who decide how long is going to take it to do it for you, not them. Not them. They cannot force us. If they say 3 weeks, is a 3 weeks. They cannot say, product owner cannot say make it 1 week. They don't say that. They will not say it. They don't say, they have no right to say that. Okay. So let you know. So delivery team to decide how long is going to take. কি বললেন?
No, I thought the managers, project managers, মনে হয় বলে কত সময়ের ভিতরে finish করতে হবে. I thought.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand, mami. কি বললেন?
No, Mama, আমি প্রথমে মনে করছিলাম যে প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজার ইউজুয়ালি বলে কত সময়ের ভিতরে এগুলা ফিনিশ করতে হবে. I thought at first.
No, of course they talk. Of course they give you an idea that I need to finish this during that time. Of course they do. But let's say product owner or project manager saying I have to finish. Of course there is a deadline. Definitely. Project manager is not going to wait for like say 3 years, something that he needs it in 1 year. There's a delivery time. But what I'm trying to say, project manager say I need to finish in 6 months. Fine. Then I have how many developer I have? 1, right? Then we will say, okay, then hire 2 developer. I have 1 tester, then I'll say hire 3 tester. You know, if you need to finish something in a deadline, but it's going to take it's going to take 1 year, but the project manager is saying no, I need it in 5 months. Okay, that's not a problem, but just hire people, just double the people. Do you understand my point? So there's the thing, like we will tell them that this task is going to take, like we break it down. Remember the user story, right? User story, we break it down. I will send you today, I'm going to send you this video right today, And then I have another video, I'm going to send you that too. Okay, so first I should have it probably. Let me see if I can send it, also review that. That will help you because that was from another class. That will help you to understand this thing I talk about this today. So like I said, they cannot force you to do certain things in the time that you cannot finish, because in Agile you have to commit to something, right? In 3 weeks I'm going to finish it. But if they give you extra work, it will not be done at the end of the sprint. It's not done, right?
Okay, जी. Okay, Mama. Test manager and test lead are project manager and QA manager. Are they the same? Project manager and QA manager, test manager and test lead, are these two same? And project manager and QA manager, those two same?
No. Project manager or QA manager are not same. QA manager is for the testing team, na?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
QA
I
manager for the
thought they are
testing team.
the
It's test manager. Test manager and QA manager same thing.
test manager or QA manager same thing. Project manager is different. Okay.
Yes. Make sense?
Okay, Mama. Sprint planning meeting এর মধ্যে discuss করা হয় who is going to do what. Also in test plan they have it written somewhere who is going to do what. Then in sprint planning meeting এর মধ্যে আবার কেন বলা হয় who is going to do what.
আমি বুঝি না, আবার বলেন তো জিনিসটা।
Test plan এর মধ্যে দেওয়া থাকে না who is going to do what. Test plan এর মধ্যে থাকে না who is going to do what.
হ্যাঁ
আবার আমরা যখন
টেস্ট প্ল্যানের মধ্যে কি থাকে? টেস্ট প্ল্যানের মধ্যে থাকে কে কে টেস্ট করবে, রাইট? টেস্ট প্ল্যানে লেখা থাকে কে কে টেস্ট করবে। টেস্টার কয়জন? মনে করেন 3 জন টেস্টার। কে কোনটা টেস্ট করবে দ্যাটস লেখা থাকে টেস্ট স্ট্র্যাটেজিতে, না?
জি
রাইট। এখন মনে করেন টেস্ট প্ল্যানে লেখা থাকে কে কি করবে, রাইট? টেস্ট প্ল্যানে লেখা থাকে, ফাইন। কিন্তু স্প্রিন্ট প্ল্যানিং এ আবার কেন বলা হয় কে কি করবে, রাইট? এটাই তো প্রশ্ন। স্প্রিন্ট প্ল্যানিং মিটিংয়ে কিন্তু আমরা কে কি করবে মানে ওই জিনিসটা না। স্প্রিন্ট প্ল্যানিং মিটিং কি যে ইউজার স্টোরি আছে না? ইউজার স্টোরি আছে তো। এখন এই ইউজার স্টোরিতে আপনার অনেকগুলো ইউজার স্টোরি আছে, মনে করেন 20টা 30টা 50টা ইউজার স্টোরি আছে। আপনি কোন ইউজার স্টোরি করবেন এই 3 সপ্তাহের স্প্রিন্টের মধ্যে? You have 3 weeks sprint. What you will do in these 3 weeks? এইটা বলা হয়। কে কি করবে মানে হইলো আপনার out of let's say 40, 30, 20 user story, you pick 1, 2 or 3 that you pick, and then from that 3টা user story you selected first. Sprint planning meeting we select, and then select করার পরে মনে করেন 3টা user story আমি সিলেক্ট করলাম, 1 নাম্বার 2 নাম্বার 3 নাম্বার, রাইট? আমি ইউজার স্টোরি সিলেক্ট করলাম। 1 নাম্বার মনে করেন ইউজার স্টোরি একটা, আরেকটা হলো আরেকটা ইউজার স্টোরি, এটা রাইট? 3টা ইউজার স্টোরি আমি সিলেক্ট করলাম। ইউজার স্টোরি, রাইট? 3টা। এখন আমি করব কি, মনে করেন ডেভেলপারের কাজ আছে এখানে। ডেভেলপার ডেভেলপ করবে, টেস্টারে টেস্ট করবে, রাইট? ডাটা মডেলিং করবে, রাইট? সো উই ক্রিয়েট টাস্ক। we create task and then link it to the user stories. এটা বুঝছেন? মানে মনে করেন এটা একটা ইউজার স্টোরি, রাইট? এই ইউজার স্টোরিতে মনে করেন আছে we need to move data from Oracle to Vertica. এটা হলো আমরা ডাটাগুলো মুভ করব Oracle ডাটাবেস থেকে Vertica ডাটাবেসে নিয়ে আসবো। এটা হলো একটা ইউজার স্টোরি মনে করেন, রাইট? এটা একটা ইউজার স্টোরি, মিনিং উই হ্যাভ টু মুভ দ্য ডাটা। এখন ডেভেলপারে কি করবে? ডেভেলপার উইল রাইট দ্য কোড, রাইট? ডেভেলপার কি করবে? ডেভেলপার উইল কোড লিখবে। তো ডেভেলপার একটা টাস্ক ক্রিয়েট করবে। টাস্ক ক্রিয়েট করবে, বলবে যে ওকে আই উইল রাইট কোড টু মুভ ডাটা ফ্রম Oracle to Vertica। এটা হলো ডেভেলপার টাস্ক লিখলো। এই টাস্কটা লেখার পরে এটা কিন্তু যে সফটওয়্যার জিরা বলছিলাম না, ALM বা জিরা এরকম সফটওয়্যার আছে, সে ওখানে লিখবে। লেখার পরে এটার সাথে এটা কানেক্ট করবে, কারণ এই টাস্কটাও এটার থেকে ইউজার স্টোরি থেকে আসলো, রাইট? দিস উইল বি কানেক্টেড উইথ দিস। এখন মনে করেন টেস্টার সেম একটা টাস্ক ক্রিয়েট করবে, মুভড। আমি একটা টাস্ক ক্রিয়েট করলাম, ক্রিয়েট পরে এটার সাথে লিঙ্ক করে দিলাম। তো এটা আমরা এই 3 সপ্তাহের মধ্যে আমরা এই কাজটা করব। তো এটা করব, এটা করব, রাইট? ডাটা মুভ করব। নাও ডেভেলপারের কাজ কি? ডাটা কোড লেখা। আমার কাজ কি? টেস্ট করা। সো আমি টাস্কটা লিখে এর সাথে লিঙ্ক করে দিব। বুঝতে পারছেন ঘটনাটা নাকি কনফিউজিং?
জি।
কনফিউজিং? সো এখন
না।
ওই স্প্রিন্ট প্ল্যানিং মিটিং এ ডিসাইড করা হয় কে কি করবে। মানে হইলো আমরা প্রথমে ডিসাইড করা হয় স্প্রিন্ট মিটিং এ, ফার্স্ট থিং উই ডু ইজ স্প্রিন্ট মিটিং এর প্রথমে যেটা করা হয় সেটা হলো পিক দ্য ইউজার স্টোরি। Pick the user story, বুঝছেন? What we will complete this sprint. That's the first thing. Okay. Then we create task, right? Create task like developer task, tester task, data modeler task, whoever BA task, whoever will do something, they will create task. Okay. So আমরা out of stories মানে কি? Stories মানে requirement, right? মনে আছে বলছিলাম এগুলা? Stories মানে requirement. So আমাদের requirement আছে 50টা, 60টা, 100টা, whatever. In sprint planning we decide what we will be doing for that sprint, only for that sprint, and then we create tasks, link them, and then we start working. That's all.
Okay. TDD, এটা abbreviation হইতেছে under software architect and design. What does this TDD stand for?
TDD, TDD, right?
Yes, it was under architect.
Yeah, I know. Technical design document, TDD. ওকে, এটা হলো আপনার জাস্ট ওয়ান কাইন্ডস অফ ডকুমেন্ট। একটা অ্যাপ্লিকেশনে কিন্তু অনেক টাইপের ডকুমেন্ট থাকতে পারে, কখনো এটা থাকে, কখনো এটা থাকে না, কখনো দরকার হয় না। টেকনিক্যাল ডিজাইন ডকুমেন্ট বেসিক্যালি মনে করেন ডাটা মডেল আছে না, ডাটা মডেলগুলো থাকে, ডাটা মডেল, তারপরে টেবিলের নাম, কলামের নাম, ওইসব জিনিসগুলো থাকে টেকনিক্যাল ডিজাইন ডকুমেন্ট। হাউ দে আর কানেক্টেড, আপনার যদি ফ্রন্ট এন্ডে কোনো অ্যাপ্লিকেশন থাকে, জাভা প্রোগ্রাম আছে, হাউ দে আর কানেক্টেড টু ইচ আদার, what are the column name, their data type, all this information technical design document থাকে। একটা ব্যাক এন্ডে বেসিক্যালি একটা সফটওয়্যার যেখানে ডেভেলপ করা হবে এবং কি ডেভেলপ করা হবে সমস্ত ইনফরমেশন এইখানে লেখা থাকে। ইফ ইউ রিড দিস ইউ উইল হ্যাভ অ্যান আইডিয়া অ্যাবাউট দেয়ার টেকনিক্যাল ইনফরমেশন ইন দেয়ার।
Okay, we as a tester we don't need that, but if we work on the database then
no, we need that. Technical design document is very important. For that one, we need to understand the model, the model of the software, the model of the database that will be in there. We need that. Like say, whatever the say table name, their column name, their connection, behind the is the blueprint of the application basically. Blueprint of
yeah, I remember, but I thought if you are working on database then you need it. If you are not working in the database then you don't need it. That's what I thought.
No, yeah, I mean what happened is, see, if you're doing only front-end application, you are right, but you have to understand, like that's why I says it's in the application also. You are doing only functional testing, front-end, black box testing. That's you're doing black box testing, front-end functional. You just want to make sure that whatever the information you have in the form, let's say you are going to Brazil and you are filling out a form in the visa center. There is a form there, right? You are filling it out, and you are just testing only that if the form is working or not. Then you don't need all the behind the story. You don't need it, right? But you are working the database, then you need behind the story how the database is built, how they are connected, what the table name column, then you need that. But regardless of anything, the more you know is better for your like test case to understand the project. So regardless of what you do, if you read it, is better for you. But for the front end application, you do not actually need it. But if it's there, it's always good idea to read it.
But for database again, yeah, you absolutely need that. Without that, you cannot do anything.
Yes, that's what I remembered.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that is true. That is true.
Okay. Okay. Where do we document for the test data design, and then we do test data generation, and then you are doing that. But where do we document those information? Whenever I'm getting some data for my, test cases, if I need some data, where do I have to even document how I got those data?
No, you don't need that. If you have the data, you
Okay.
just put in probably in Excel. You can write them in Excel or Microsoft Word or Notepad somewhere, whatever you write it down there, and then you save them in SharePoint. Save it in
We save
SharePoint.
them
So
in
that
SharePoint.
SharePoint why? So then everybody can see, or it's like anybody needs to see it. Because what happened is in SharePoint we keep all our documents in SharePoint. That's the
I'm
standard.
thinking about SharePoint.
What happened?
I don't really have any experience with the SharePoint.
No, SharePoint is like Microsoft Word, Excel, very simple
Okay.
thing. Whatever we do is like they will give you a link. You click on the link and create a folder.
Mm-hmm.
There's a folder and there is an upload thing. You just upload certain things. Okay, probably I'll show you. It's like 5 minutes thing to show you. It's very simple. It's SharePoint meaning you don't need to know anything. Like Microsoft Word, you never learn actually. You just start typing it and then you learn it, right? Microsoft Word. Same thing is SharePoint. SharePoint is like a link they'll give you and then you open up. In my let me just see if I can show some picture now. Hold on 1 second.
মামা আমার একটা সেকেন্ড দিবেন, আমার মেয়ে উঠে গেছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ নো প্রবলেম, আপনি কাম ব্যাক করে আমাকে ইয়া করে